Today we are talking a few things I like about my Fuji camera after owning it for more than 6 months. Despite being a very rational and pragmatic guy, the things I will talk about today fall more into the category of these little irrational things that make you enjoy the experience of using the camera, the things that I don't feel when using my other systems like my Ricoh GR3 and my Sony. I won't be talking about Fuji colors because yeah, they are great, but I really believe that you can get really good colors with any system if you know what to do in post-processing. And no Fuji recipes in this video because I shoot RAW all the time and I love the process of editing my pictures, so I'm not using any recipes, and anyway I'm not really knowledgeable about that at all. First off is the sound of the shutter. This may seem a little bit stupid, but after several months of usage, I'm still not tired of the sound that the shutter produces. And actually more than the sound only, is the whole feeling and vibration it creates when taking a picture. You can feel it in your hand, the nice clack sound, the vibration. It is very satisfying. The whole feeling is awesome. If you haven't used one, you probably think that it's such a weird thing, and anyway, it doesn't affect the quality of the picture and how creative you are using the camera. But one thing for sure, it makes you want to press the shutter and take photos. And you probably heard me saying that many times already, but the more you take photos, the better you will get at taking photos. Regardless of how organized you are and how many composition tips or exercise you do, the simple rule of taking loads of pictures applies, and the more you take, the more progress you will make. Long time ago, when using my Nikon D750, my first full-frame camera, I had a very similar feeling, so it is not exclusive to Fujifilm, and I think it's important to mention because I'm definitely not a Fujifilm fanboy. If you get a little spark of joy every time you click on the shutter, it is a good sign that you will use the camera, take a lot of pictures, including great ones. I have only one lens for my Fuji X-E4, and it is the 35mm f2. I guess most of the Fujifilm lenses have the Aperture Ring, which is the default alternative to change your aperture. With my other systems, I'm used to change the aperture using one of the ring, usually the one located close to the shutter. It does the job, but the haptic feedback you get when changing your aperture is really not special. It's functional, that's it. With the Fuji lenses, the haptic feedback you get when moving your aperture ring is really so satisfying. Very similar to what I said about the shutter. The combination of the clicky sound and this tactile experience is very good and enjoyable to use. On top of that, I really like the fact of being able to see physically at what aperture you're at. A split second look at your camera and you see your aperture. You can also stay focused on the scene and prepare yourself to shoot even looking at the aperture ring. Let's say you want to capture a genuine street portrait at f2. You can look at the scene and the person you're targeting while moving your aperture ring until it stops on the white side, and you'll know that you are at f2. The ring just won't go any further. Once you are used to it, you can do the same and then move back during a few clicks, and you'll know that you're at f4, for example, even without looking at your lens. My last point is also about the lens, and this time specifically about this 35mm f2. I love how perfectly imperfect it is. Let me explain. The lens is very good, it is sharp, it has nice contrast and clarity. Coming from Sony, it is also pretty damn fast and accurate in terms of autofocus, at least on the photography side. But what I like the most is how the lens renders light in high contrast scenes or when you're shooting backlit. It has some imperfection that creates really nice flare and textures in these shooting scenarios. With a little bit of experience using the lens, you can almost predict how it will react, and in most cases it creates really nice effects. On other lenses that I used that have some heavy flare, it was more like a hit and miss, and mostly miss actually. You can't really predict how it will react trying to create pleasant looking images. It often ends up in very low contrast, completely washed out photo, but it is not the case with the Fuji lens. If you're in the market for a new lens for your Fuji system, I can only highly recommend this one. It is from the f2 lineup, so it is fairly cheap, and I'm pretty sure you can find really good deals secondhand. It is weather sealed and really lightweight. concludes my little positive talk about Fuji today. I still have other positive and also negative things to say about the Fuji system, but I'll keep them for another day maybe. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.